Welcome to October. In October, we are talking about school all month. And my first totally school-based video that I'm making for your caregiver tip is about speech and language pathology or speech therapy. It seems like kind of an odd thing to start with, but of all of the goals on an IEP, my favorite is speech. And it's kind of hard to understand the why behind it, but I talked a little bit about that in my post yesterday. So what I want to talk about today is how to advocate for a goal being added to your IEP for speech. So with any goal, you're going to need data to back up that there's a deficit. So I would ask for an assessment. But a way to kind of guide the conversation towards that assessment being necessary is talking about behaviors in school. So a lot of times we don't think about speech therapy working for social skills, but also when social skills are at a deficit, often we get complaints from the school. Oh, well, they're talking out of turn, or they're bringing up unnecessary topics, or their peers are getting upset when they do whatever, which is great. I want that communication home, but also those are all things that can be helped as a part of speech therapy. And so a lot of times we think speech just in the context of how we pronounce words. It's so much more complex than that, but one of my favorite parts of it is the social skills stuff. So with some kids, if they're constantly interrupting conversations, a speech therapist can help guide them through when is an appropriate time. How do you change topics in a conversation? What does someone feel like when you interrupt their conversation? Those sort of things are helpful skills, and those are skills that serves us well beyond childhood. And those are like, you can maybe not know how to read that well, but if you know how to not interrupt somebody in a conversation and how to change topics well, that's going to serve you really well in life. So ask for an assessment, and then when you're explaining your needs and your child's needs, make sure you communicate them in the form of their disability. So don't say that, yeah, they're just, rude sometimes. Make sure they don't have the skills necessary to communicate this way. How can we teach them these skills? It's clearly disruptive to school, therefore it would make sense for school-based speech therapy to provide that service. So that is my tip for you today on how to advocate for speech therapy as a goal in IEP.